Hello everyone, this is Tela, and I'm here to bring you my guide to the Enhancement Shaman in patch 7.1.5, as well as the recently released nighthold. Sorry for this being a little late from my last video. I just wanted to make sure that all my information was correct, and especially with the new buffs that came in today, I will like to explain it to you guys. So again, if you like the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and then please subscribe if you haven't already and would like to see more of my content in the future. Okay, so to start off, I want to show you guys the buffs that we have received. So bring it up on the screen now. So for shamans, several of our spells got buffed, namely Crash Lightning, Flame Tongue, Lava Lash, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Shield, Rockbiter, Storm, Strikes, Wind Fury, and Windsong all have had their damage buffed by 4%. Hailstorm, which was severely nerfed in the 7.1.5 patch, has been buffed now, so it's still less damage than it was before the big patch drop. However, for now, it is more competitively viable compared to the other two options. Boulder Fist has had its damage increased by 15%. Fury of Air has actually been nerfed by 12%. And then Doom Vortex, which is a artifact ability, I believe it's the third golden legendary, has its damage increased by 33%. So a very good amount of changes, overall a buff to a lot of our abilities, and then just a nerf to Fury of Air, which in my opinion was really strong anyway, so not too worried. I still think it's going to be good overall, so get rid of that. Now on to our artifact weapon. So again, if you are more new to the Enhancement Shaman or are interested into picking it up perhaps for an alt or what have you, definitely having a good route to fill in your weapon is always advisable. So first off, we start off with Doom Winds, then go into Hammer of Storms, Gathering Storms, Wind Strikes, Spiritual Healing, Storm Flurry, then going back up for our first golden legendary in Doom Wolves, then going to Elemental Healing, Raging Storms, Spirit of the Maelstrom, Unleash Doom, then coming back up to get Weapon of the Elements, and then you can either get Gathering of the Maelstrom or Wind Surge. Gathering of the Maelstrom is fantastic when you are having a little bit of trouble generating Maelstrom, but if not, then Wind Surge is a good alternative to boost your damage that a little bit more through Wind Fury. And then the last 2 points that you get are Forged in Lava and Doom Vortex. So that is pretty much my go-to route that I had picked. So you eke out a little bit more damage if you choose this pathway. Of course, in the end, it really doesn't matter if you fill out all the points anyway. So as for relics, I mainly try and go for Wind Strikes. So Wind Strikes is very strong, and it provides you a lot of utility, especially as you get higher gear. And then next up is Gathering Storm. So again, a very strong ability, but not as much as Wind Strikes. And then the next two are Weapon of the Elements and Wind Surge. So those two are much less useful than the first two I had explained. However, depending on how much of an upgrade it is is most likely a fine substitute in that situation. As for what the relics that Nighthold drops, unfortunately, all the relics that Nighthold drops are very poor for the Enhancement Shaman. So most likely, if you want to get really good relics, you will most likely have to search them out in Mythic Plus. Would be my best bet. Just because the relics from Nighthold are just really, really terrible. Okay, so getting into talents, I want to preface this in saying that These are just my opinions, and I will give my little bit of explanation to them. However, I want to say this in straight up and say whatever works best for you, whatever provides you the most DPS, whatever feels comfortable for you, whatever seems to be working for you, by all means, choose it. And I'm not saying this is the right way and you should choose it. I'm just saying this is my personal preference, and I give my explanation as to why. So to start off, our 15 row Wind Song is a fantastic ability which does a burst of nature damage, and then also increases your attack speed by 35% for 20 seconds. So a very fantastic ability to give you more of a window where you can generate extra Maelstrom, deal a large amount of nature damage, as well as benefit from the attack speed, such as using your Flame Tongue enhancement, Hailstorm if you have it, Wind Fury, and then just regular auto attacks. Hot Hand is slated to be very good. However, from my personal experience using it, it just doesn't proc as often as you'd like, and you just don't seem to benefit from it as much. If it does provide you more DPS in behind the scenes, then I guess, but I don't think it's a good talent to have. Lastly, Boulder Fist, as I said before, was buffed, so it is a charge-based system with 2 charges that does a decent amount of nature damage, as well as increasing all the damage you deal by 5%. However, the Maelstrom it generates is not enough to fuel a Fury of Air talent choice, so keep that in mind. Next, we have your utility in Feral Lunge and Windrush Totem. Windrush is more raid utility focused, while Feral Lunge is just a charge that is fairly useful in a lot of situations. Next is our CC and Lightning Surge Totem, and then our 60 talents is interesting. So Lightning Shield has been tweaked, but I'm not sure if it is as strong. I've tried it and it doesn't seem to work for me, but if it does work for you guys, by all means. Next, Ancestral Swiftness, so just a flat increase of haste by 6%, so very strong in a wide variety of situations. And then lastly, Hailstorm, which also has been buffed after its huge nerf, which makes it more viable now than it was a little bit ago. Hailstorm is fantastic in specific situations, such as if you have the legendary ring, Eye of the Twisting Nether, as well as the wrist legendaries. So again, a strong ability for more specific reasons, mostly legendaries. And then Ancestral Swiftness is fantastic if you have the option to swap legendaries, or do not have the wrist or the ring legendary at all. Other than that, so 75, it's pretty much Tempest. There are sayings that Overcharge is strong, and I agree that Overcharge is a strong ability. However, with upcoming Nightholds 2 and 4 piece, Tempest is going to be the strongest regardless, so Tempest. So with the 90 talents, it is between Fury of Air and Crashing Storm. So if you go Boulder Fist, and like the Boulder Fist playstyle, Crashing Storm is probably going to be the choice that you're going to have to make. Just because if you choose Fury of Air, you do not have enough Maelstrom on-demand Maelstrom generation to support a Fury of Air talent. Just because Rockbiter being on-demand Maelstrom that doesn't have a cooldown makes Fury of Air very easily supported when you do not have Boulder Fist. So as for the 100 talents, it's still landslide, just because they boosted the benefit that agility provides for, well, main stats provide for every class rather. So landslide is still our best. Okay, So getting into legendaries, they added 2 and 7.1.5. Both of them are extremely strong. They actually buffed Kill Jaden's Burning Wish, believe it or not. So it does a larger chunk of damage from the active ability. So again, extremely strong and immediately equip if you get it. The other one is the Heroism Helmet. So Heroism lasts 75% longer, very strong. Pride is a decent stat stick, I guess, that provides you a little bit more survivability, but also a socket. The Chest Legendary, it is very strong if you can consistently hit 3 or more things with Crash Lightning, but other than that, it's kind of dead. Other than that, you have the Wrist Legendary, which are terrible, I guess you can say. They aren't that strong, but of course, if you get a 940 version or don't have anything better, so if you have more utility in like the necklace or the legs, then the wrists are okay. Onto that, we have our Waste Legendary in Storm Tempest, so very strong in cleave fights, but its stats aren't that incredible. So again, um, depends on what you have. The legs, terrible but well statted, so you get health if you stand still. Spiritual Journey, actually a unknown, I guess. It's not well talked about, but Spiritual Journey, again, is very strong if you can make the most out of it by reducing the cooldown on your Feral Spirits whenever you use Ghost Wolf. But again, you shouldn't be using Ghost Wolf that too often, especially in a raiding situation. Maybe more PvP oriented if I think about it. Other than that, Sefu's Secret, so I mean, you benefit from haste, and the socket's okay, but it's not, again, not a great legendary. The Eye of the Twisting Nether, so pretty much very fantastic stats, as well as boosting your damage for Fire, Frost, and Nature abilities through your kit. So again, because your Frost damage is only really from Frostbrand, I mean, you only consistently support it through Hailstorm. Eye of the Twisting Nether is one of those more niche legendaries, I suppose. And then again, as I said, Kill Jaden's is just a very strong trinket that you pretty much on use every time because its fire damage is actually boosted by your mastery, and since they boosted the fire damage portion part of it, it's even that much stronger. So again, those are the legendaries. So getting into the nighthold set, so with the introduction of nighthold, the new 2 and 4 piece are very strong, and the gear overall in nighthold is pretty well statted, I suppose. Tier set not included. So my opinion about the 2 and 4 set, it may not be shared amongst other people. However, again, if the 4 set works out for you, or if you want to get it for others playing around other specs, by all means. So the 2 set increases our Stormbringer. Whenever we proc Stormbringer, we'll increase the critical strike chance of our Storm Strike by 40%. So again, extremely strong ability, even if it only affects the next Storm Strike rather than the 2 charges by Tempest. So even if that works in the worst case scenario where it only affects 1 charge of the Stormbringer, 2 set is fantastic increase in DPS. As for the 4 set, Lava Lash has a 20% chance to trigger Stormbringer. So again, if you have any downtimes, Lava Lash will provide you a better chance at getting more Storm Strikes to dole out more damage. So the 4 set is good in the fact that Lava Lash, and if you get unlucky, will provide you a better chance at doling out more Storm Strikes. However, in my opinion, you do not really have that many issues proccing Stormbringer anyway. That the 4 set versus better statted other items is questionable. So in my best opinion, of course you don't have to follow it, is that get the 2-set, get better statted other items. As for the 2-set, I would most likely get the cloak and then most likely the pants, just because the pants provide you a lot of mastery, which is always fantastic. Those are just my opinions, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. So as for rotation, it will depend on your specific talent choices. However, for the most part, it is more of a priority system, I suppose, rather than a rotation. So pretty much use your abilities on cooldown whenever you have the chance. So if it's up, use it. The only caveat being if you use Doom Winds and or Windsong, I guess and Windsong, you need to make sure that you are making the most use out of it by being in melee range to do damage. And then Feral Spirits is fantastic and a very strong AoE ability, so if you want to hold back a little bit to do that little bit more burst window through your Wolves for AoE pack, then that's a good way to use it as well. However, generally using it on cooldown is fine. But those are generally my thought process behind the abilities. I mean the cooldowns. Fury of Air, you pretty much want to keep up as soon as you can, and then keep supporting it through Rock Fighters. As for Storm Strike, you use Storm Strike whenever you get the proc, pretty much, and then Crash Lightning, use it constantly. Flame Tongue and Frostbrand, you want to keep up. If you have the Hailstorm passive, of course. If you do not, then don't worry about keeping up Frostbrand. Keeping up Flame Tongue, which is, I believe, a 20-second enhancement on your weapons. Pretty easy. And lastly, Lava Lash is you're Maelstrommed up when you do not have Storm Strike procs. So I'm going to get into a little bit of dummy action just to show you guys some of it in action. So to start off, we start off with a Rock Rider 2, put on our Flame Tongue and Frostbrand. Then we use Storm Strike when it's available, use Crash Lightning, use our abilities, make sure to keep up Fury of Air. My landslide fell off, so I have to reapply it. Capping out on Maelstrom really fast and have no Storm Strike proc, so I use Lava Lash. I can see my landslide buff about to fall off, so I reapply it. I'm getting a little low on Maelstrom, so spamming Rag Fighter a little bit. My Windsong came off cooldown, so using it at the moment to generate that little bit of extra Maelstrom, get that attack speed. Talking a little bit more of Stormbringers. Popping Doom Winds since it's back up, and using Stormbringers, Storm Strikes all day. And as you can see, I'm not sure if it's correct or not, whenever I seem to use Crash Lightning, even on single target, you more often than not get Stormbringer procs. I'm not sure if I'm just lucky or if that's how it works, but using Crash Lightning on cooldown is still, in my opinion, a very strong ability, just because it also works with your Gathering Storms, which increases the damage of your Storm Strike anyway. So again, use your Rock Fighter to generate Maelstrom, Crash Lightning on cooldown, Flame Tongue, and Frostbrand. If you have Hailstorm, you keep those two buffs up on your weapons. Then use Storm Strike as it comes off cooldown, and then when it's procced by Stormbringer, use your Windsong, Feral Spirits, Doom Winds on cooldown. Make sure Fury of Air is up, and Fury of Air will fall off if you run out of Maelstrom, so just make sure if you are a little low, that you check it and see if it's not deactivated. If you have overcharge, if you cap out past 50 maelstrom, then using lightning bolts for overcharge is a good thing to keep in mind. Um, Other than that, it's pretty much a priority system you have to keep in mind depending on your talents. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the little guide I have provided. And if you did, please remember again to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more. Down below, I'll put both the weak aura that you guys have seen, and if you enjoy it, as well as the link to my Twitch stream, which I'll be streaming my raid actually tonight. I raid Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fairly late, so 11 p.m. EST, or 8 p.m. Western Standard Time. Wait, WST. Yeah. Um, so again, check out my Twitch and my other YouTube videos if you'd like to see more content in the future. Again, thank you guys very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.